Today, on the 3rd of April 2025, Roman Triumph is coming out. A survival city builder that I've had my eyes on for a while. We've actually showed it on the channel a couple of times, and today again this is the full early access release. So is that good? Should you play it? Before we dive into the game, I want to show you something that was sent to me by the developers for two reasons. The first one is, I'm a consultant, so seeing slides always good. But second is, when I saw this one that says inspired by, right, and we see Kingdom and Castle, Kingdoms Reborn, Caesar 3, Father's Frontier. These are all games that I've played a lot. And when I say a lot, this is a lot. So, that caught my attention for sure. And then the second slide I wanted to show you is this one, because I feel like it does summarize the game pretty well. This is a Roman city builder, so you have a lot of Roman buildings. It's a city builder, so we're talking about 50 plus buildings. At the same time, it is a survival game, so you're gonna need to fortify your city, build towers, walls, etc. As all Roman city builders, you also need to manage the gods, right? Build temples, offer sacrifices to make sure they're happy with you. If they're happy, they give you blessings. If they're not happy, they punish you. You have a research tree, right? So that you can unlock more important technologies, better resources, etc. It is not a fully historical game because you will have mythological creatures, but if you don't like this, there is an option actually to take them out and just focus on historical battles. And then last but not least, again, this is a survival city builder, so you're gonna need to survive, winter and those type of things. The resources are not unlimited, etc. So this is the game in a nutshell. And by the way, if you're wondering what else is coming with the early access before the full release, of course this can change, but this is a roadmap that they've shared. You can find it in the game over here directly, where you can see content and you can see also improvements, quality of life, those type of things. In terms of the content, they're talking about more maps and scenarios. This is one element indeed that I think is important. This game will only have replayability if there is quite a lot of scenarios, different maps, maybe different types of enemies. And honestly, I would also like, types of scenarios or maybe even a campaign, because I do think in a single player city builder like this, a lot of people are looking for this. Now they're talking, of course, about more buildings, bringing some wonders, some big buildings like the Colosseum, etc. More defenses, more types of defenses like flamethrowers, poison arrows, more enemies, right, both mythicals and not. New productions, there's a couple that are blocked in the games right now. Religions improvement, not too sure what this will be, but basically they want to rework a bit the religion, I guess. Traps, more units. Now, of course, let's take again this with a grain of salt. They could not deliver it all. They could deliver other things that are not there. And then at the bottom, you can see other improvements. So they will listen to the feedback, which I think is one of the main reasons for early access, bring some quality of life improvement, etc. So don't hesitate to share in the comments of my videos or on their Discord. You can find it over here if you have any feedback. Now, to show you what I think about the game, we're gonna start a new game together so you can see a bit the tutorial, and towards the end of this first episode, I'll share my thoughts about this game. Is this worth it or not, what I like, what I don't like, and then we will continue this, map as a let's play. So the good thing is that there is a map generation or map editor if you wish. Right now we only have access to the valley, but I guess this is where in the future there will be different types of biomes. We do have, regular, small or large for the mountains, similar for the fertility. We're gonna leave it like this. You can change, is there a lot of trees or not, a lot of large rocks, iron, etc. The seed is over here. If you want to copy it, you can use the exact same, right? And then we're gonna continue. At that point, we're gonna be able to choose our difficulty. We can go easy, normal, or hard, and then we have two sort of special things. One is the Pax Romana, meaning no attack. There's no attack rate, so it's a pure city builder. It's still survival of, the resource management, but there's no survival in terms of attack. And then there is this one that I mentioned before of no mythological threat. So you'll be attacked by barbarians, things like this, but not by dragons. Now this game is not easy, so I don't think we're gonna go with hard, we're gonna go with normal. It's a standard experience that they're expecting. We can play or unlock, take out the tutorial. You can also take out things like knowing where the enemies will attack, how quickly they will attack, etc. So a lot of different things which will give us some replayability. I do like this. And then we need to name our colony. Let's call it Consulticus. It's like a Roman name of consultant. And we dive right in. As I said, you're gonna have to deal with the elements, like this is winter. You're gonna need to build defenses, but also some cool buildings like this Colosseum over here. And here we are. Esteemed governor, as the empire stretches, we have a new mission: venture north and establish a settlement on the frontier. So again, this is the Roman Empire, but we're very far, so we're gonna have to survive. We need to place our castrum. It's our center of the settlement, and you can place it anywhere you want on this map, which is a pretty big map, as you can see, right? There is a lot of space. Now, I think, in my opinion, it's good to be towards the middle, so you have time to see the enemy coming. You want a place that has some trees, but not too much. You need a bit of space. You also need some resources, like here I see some iron, here I see some stone, some resource. So I feel like over here, this is pretty good. I'm gonna put it over there. I'm gonna keep that space for my farms. So let's place it, and it is, we have started. So my people, you know, they're over here. They're gonna start building or doing whatever I want. Now you can move the camera, of course, rotate, zoom in pretty closely, as you can see, right? We can see our people over there. So all good there. We can increase the speed, of course. Now my population is over there. We have 8 right now, right? We have 0 houses. That's not great, and therefore my people are not very happy. Right? They're not having houses. They don't have access to food, etc. So they're not happy. There is 5 sort of sub-happiness level: the comfort, the health, the recreation, safety, and culture. So this is quite important. And by the way, the happiness will impact everything: your productivity, and are people coming to your place, etc. Here are all of my resource or basic resource. There will be a couple of other ones, and you know, if you overheat, you can see how much are you using, etc. Of course, the game just started, so it's not really useful, but in the future it will be useful, particularly on food, right? Knowing how much you're consuming each month versus producing, that's important. And then last but not least, or not last but not least, but you know, in terms of the tutorial, one important thing here is the job priorities. I'll show you that in a second. You need to have roads to connect everything, right? And here is a tutorial that starts. First is to build 2 houses, a hunter hut, wood, gathering wood, and stone. So we're gonna actually start with this, gathering resources over here. So it's a survival game, right? So we need to gather the wood by actually finding a forest and deciding where we're gonna cut. I think we're gonna cut over here to get started, because I want this place for food in the future, and maybe also over here. Okay, we can do the same, by the way, for the stone, right? So there is small stone a bit everywhere, right? And then there's going to be very big stone, which is where we're going to place some quarries on it, right? So I'm starting to gather stone and wood, and so there is 2 tasks now that I've started, right? Before I talk about the tasks, though, let's put 2 domus. We're going to put them more on this side, I think. Let's go here. Oh, no, the road is too far, so we need a road first. So let's drag this. Okay, now we have a first road, and we're gonna put 2 houses, one over here and one next to it, and we need also a gathering hut. So I'm cutting those trees over here and there, so it's not great to have, I guess, wood on this side. Maybe what we'll do is put a road on this side, and that costs resources, by the way, so don't go crazy. And we're gonna put we don't have enough wood, indeed. So anyway, now the important thing is, as you can see, we have 3 tasks. The builders at the top, so they're going to build this. Then we have the wood gathering, and then the stone gathering. What we can do is move it. I can say the wood gathering is more important, but in this case, I think we do want to build first. What I also want to do is make sure that we don't have too many people working on one thing. So for the builders, we're going to say, let's have 5 maximum for now. So instead of 6 now, we're going to have 5. Same for the wood. Let's say maybe we're going to have, 2 max, so that 1 goes into the stone, right? And in the future we can increase that later, but for now that's what we're gonna do. Okay, then we can unpause, increase the speed, and it is all of my people, they're starting to work. They're bringing resources to build those things, and when they're finished, some of them are also cutting wood, those type of things. So everything is happening great. Here it is. We have the first house. So first house, we can see it over here, 5 beds. Now we have 10 beds with 2 houses, and therefore we have 2 vacant beds because we have 8 people, right? So next month we should hopefully get a couple of new people. We have in the houses a lot of things over here, including who lives there, right? And you can find there, everybody is kind of individually generated, right? And simulated. You can see all of their stats. So that's really great over here. Now that this is done, as I mentioned before, what's the hotkey? Already tab, yes. So we have now a couple of workers. I think we're gonna do 5 on wood, right? Up. Don't need all of these tutorials, sorry, I know all of this. So yeah, let's do 5 on wood, and let's actually also do 5 on stone. There's no reason to go crazy. And for now, nothing else, but soon we're gonna want to build a hut. Here it is, we have enough to build that hunter's hut. And we need to put a hunt, where there is animals, and the animals will be where there's trees. So over here, 150 of efficiency, that's great. I think that's perfect. So let's do this, let's build it, accelerate the time again, right? And if you look again, over here, builders to build this quickly. Wood, we're already almost there for the mission, and stone we haven't already started, so that's the next thing. This will give us a couple of rewards too, by the way, so that's great. While the mission is happening, I can do this to make sure we do stone quickly and move to the next. Of course, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions. Now, there is a problem. There's no workers here. Why? Because we've put it at the bottom. That's not great, right? We probably want to put it at the top. So we're going to do this. Now, it's 2. We didn't put a max on it. I think we're going to leave it like this because, anyway, this is the number of workers that can work here. So we don't need more than this. Then they want us to build a food storage and 4 wheat farms. So as I said, the wheat farms we're going to want to put where there is good fertility, right? So here it is, we can see the fertility is 100% versus here it is also 100, but here decreasing. So we have to be careful. Now there is also this mountain there that is very annoying, but we don't really have a choice. I think we're going to need to place them. Wait, I need to cut those trees very quickly if possible. Like focus on these trees, leave, oops, sorry. You can also unselect, right? So I'm going to unselect these ones. I'm going to unselect all of these, even these guys. Like really focus on the ones that are close so that then I can place some farms over here. Speaking of which, they also want a food storage. So let's build that next to this guy here. And then we can start putting also some wheat farms. So here, this is not great. But here we're already at 109. It's not too bad. Like if I put one there and then in the future one there and here and there. So I want to basically cut these trees. This is the priority. Let's forget even about these ones. And these ones, let's just cut these guys here. Okay, and as always, you can choose builders first and hunter. Then I'm gonna put wood next because that is, to cut all of these, and I'll see you in a sec. And it is less than a minute later. I think we can put 2 more farms, right? And then we'll be able to also choose. I think we're gonna put the farmers below the hunters because the hunters can also work during winter versus the farmers only part of the year. And yeah, we're okay on stone, so I think this is a good order right now. Let's accelerate again the time to finish this mission quickly. What we may want to do though is look at this. We have 13 people, we only have 10 beds. So even if it's not the mission, I feel like we should create at least one more domus, and we'll see what they say. Building, and here you can see they're working there on the field, right, doing their animations. It's not minor lord, but it's not either. I think for a city builder, that's what I usually say, as long as it's not ugly, I'm fine. It's more important a good gameplay. Okay, they're gonna want us to train an army. So we're gonna need to go into the army panel, right, at the bottom, and select some soldiers. So let's go. Here's the army button. Right now we've unlocked only tier 1. In the future we'll have tier 2, tier 3, maybe even more, right, later on. And we need to get, 2 gladius and 2 pillium. Okay. So this is a pillium and this is a gladius. So 2 of each. Of course, it costs resources. You can see, right, 1 citizen, 6 wood, 3 stone, 11 food, and 2 gold. So keep that in mind. And then they also ask us to build a wood archer tower. So this is in the actual buildings over here, right? We don't know yet where we're going to be attacked, but I feel like here we're pretty well protected. Versus here, this is pretty well protected too, actually. So maybe it's more on this side that we put one, or maybe as the first one, what I'll do is I'll put it over here. It's gonna protect my people, basically. In the future, we'll want walls, etc. But to get started, it may not be a bad idea to have one next to a city. Okay, so let's build all of this, and then we can talk about the soldiers when we have them. By the way, somebody just died. It does happen a lot in this game. If you think you're gonna do a 0 deaths, think again. It's a real survival game. But yeah, at least I think our food is going up. Look at this, production 100, consumption 20. So we're very good on food, that's not the problem. We have built an archer tower over here. We don't have an archer yet. Ah, here it is, we have the archer. Yeah, it's all right, perfect. And we have built also the troops, here it is. You can see 4 troops, right? So we're gonna be able to move them as an RTS, right? So that is also a pretty good thing in this game, I like that. Now, of course, we have also different commands, right? Attack on side, hold position, disband, right? A couple of different formations, etc. For now, again, let's leave it like this, no problem. Next, we need a stockpile with a clay pit and brickworks. Okay, I always forget where that one is. Here it is. So stockpile increase, you know, our resource, right? How much resource we can have in our city. And we're gonna have the clay pit over here to extract some clay. Now this can be placed anywhere. It doesn't have to be very close to something. The way we're gonna do it is probably have one more road on this side. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, my bad. Destroy this one. Okay, we're going to start cutting this wood because I'm pretty sure we took out all of the wood. That's fine. Let's start cutting all of this. You need to keep an eye on that, you know. There is some time, you know, there's no more stone either now. So it is. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna put it, I think, on this side, as I said. Let's go, a clay pit. We are low on wood. Okay, so I need to give it a second before we can do that. We can check also on this side. The archers I'm gonna leave at the bottom. We can put it at the top when we have an attack, right? I also feel like we're gonna need more wood right now. We're a bit low on people, but hopefully now I have a third house, right? So hopefully we gain a couple of citizens soon. Otherwise I may be in trouble. And yeah, we're low because we do have, by the way, consumption of wood and of stone. All of these buildings, they take those resources to maintain. And then there's other buildings, they're gonna take even more advanced resource to maintain. So keep that in mind for sure. But yeah, let's build the clay pit over here. It's a pretty big building. Thinking actually maybe we put it over here. And then we build the brickworks next to it as soon as we have enough wood. Farmers, I'm making a lot of food right now, so reducing my farmers. So make sure we get there. Alright. It may not be the smartest idea for the long term, but you know, nobody said I was that smart. Anyway, so we are now at 30, so let's build the brickworks next to it. The road is too far. Always forget about this. Okay. I would love to be able to put the road after, to be honest, where you know you can build the building, but it doesn't work until you have the road. But it's a small thing. It's a small thing. Okay, so builders building those two things, right? Oh, and I forgot about the stockpile also. So we probably should do that right away next to it, right? Because they're gonna be able to deliver there. And I really need more population into my city. So let's build actually an hospitium. They haven't asked us to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Actually, let's build two. Let's go crazy. So this is a bigger house, as you can see, in terms of space, but also in terms of people. This has been built. I haven't put people on it yet. I'm focusing on really building the other things. And the new mission is to build an academia, a tavern, and an hospitium. So it's a good thing we already made an hospitium. Then the tavern is over here. This is, you know, making your citizens more happy. It will have a radius, of course. It does cost 30 of bricks, so we're gonna need that production to start. Right, and then we have the academia, which I always forget. Where is it? Here it is. 100 of stone. We're not there yet. Okay, so we basically need more production. Let's get started with the clay and the bricks. We're gonna want also some stone for sure right now. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully we're gonna get a few more people very soon because we have more space. While we're gathering these resources, we can see the first wave of attack. It's gonna be 11 barbarians coming in 5 months. Pretty cool feature that they show us, you know, okay, exactly their stats, their height, their weight. But the important thing there, right, is basically what will it take? The best defense is to have archer tower or Scorpios, so it helps you to prepare. And again, also the other things that help you to prepare is they show you where they're gonna come from. They're gonna come from here. Now, if they come from here, that means they're gonna follow this path and they're gonna arrive over here. So I think we're gonna want to put towers over there, actually. So let's go, let's put 1 and 2 towers, and we're going to actually demolish that one completely, get back some resources. That should help, that should help. Now we're starting to get some bricks, we have some stone, so let's go, we can do the academia. Now the academia can be anywhere if I remember correctly, so we're gonna put it over here. My soldiers, by the way, we're gonna want to bring them over there. I could build some actual defense too, but for now, I think that's a good start. And by the way, if you're not sure what is being built first, you can click on the building and see this is current priority number 1. If it's not and you want to put it priority number 1, you can click here. If you feel like you want more people, you can also click here to make them work on it faster. So I think there's a lot of depth and quality of life over here. Really good stuff. Now it's time to build a tavern, and as I said before, it has an area, right? So probably somewhere over here is pretty good. We can see it's gonna help all of these houses. The 2 towers, yeah, one is finished, the other one is getting there. That's great. We have a good stone, wood gathering. So there's not a lot of stone left, it seems, because there's very few people gathering stones. Let's see to get a few more, even if I have quite a bit right now. We're also full on food, so we may want to just put more workers there now. Start having more workers to build stuff, to make sure we build whatever we need whenever we need it. They're coming now in 4 months, right? We're gonna have 2 archers over here, a couple of defenses. Hopefully it will be enough. Now, what we may want to do is start actually some defenses. Something like this, so to make sure that they go through, you know, where my towers are and my people are. Okay, it's gonna slow down my development, of course, to build all of these defenses, but I think it is an important thing. Okay, we have research, we have built the academia, so now we're gonna want, as always, to put some researcher on. So let's put it over here, I think, yeah. And we can limit 4 researcher right now, that's fine. And then you can click on research, right, and you get access to all of the research trees over here. There is 5, similar to the 5 categories of buildings, right? And you're going to start unlocking things. Now, as this is the early access, there is a couple of late game things that are not available yet. You can see over here the oven efficiency, winemaking, oil production, but there's already quite a bit over here into the food, right? Then we have houses over here, industries, service and religion, and city defense. I'm going to wait a second because I'm sure they're going to give us a mission for that. So again, just waiting a second for this. In terms of my houses, we have a lot of vacant beds, so we're fine here. I may want to do a couple more soldiers, like these archers here. Yeah, maybe we do 2 archers. Here it is, the tavern has been built. Now they're asking for 4 barkeepers. That is a lot. So what I think we're gonna do there is put it here, but put for now a limit to 2. And hopefully soon it will be fine. Now they do say build a quarry, right? And we need to research that first, and then build also cabbage farm. And I think we also need, oops, sorry, this is trade. We also need to unlock that. You can see it is blocked over here, and similarly for the quarry, it is blocked. So we're gonna go into our tech, right, and unlock those things. Let's start with the quarry, which is over here. It costs 75 food. We have tons of food, so not a problem. And it's gonna take 1 month to research it. So all good there, all good there. If we check over here, we have 4 researchers, so that's fine. I have still 10 people working on building over here all of these towers, and they're coming in 2 months. So that is definitely something also to keep in mind. How are we doing otherwise? No, I think we're doing good. We do need more people, but we still have 10 beds, so not a problem. We are in winter, but it's not bad winter yet. It's just starting to snow a bit. By the way, as I said before, you know, the further away it is, the more time it's going to take for them to build, because they actually need to bring the resources over there. I'm going to bring the archers there, but we need to keep them in the back so they don't die, right? That would be bad. The research, we can see it over here. So UI is good, you know, UI is good. I mean, maybe it's a good time to do a first check on how are we feeling about the game so far. So far, you know, I think, as I said, in terms of graphic, the game is pretty beautiful. It's not Manor, but I like it. I like it. The music in the background, pretty good. It's not too, you know, distracting, but all good there. The UI, I know many people have said also during the demo that they feel the UI is very old school. So I understand what they're saying, in the sense that I feel it is indeed like the color over here of the background and some of the icons feel very old school. But at the same time, I do have to say that for me, at least, I feel it is pretty clean. You know, it's just one bar over here that has most of the things, but then sometimes on the side you get some very important notification, like my stone mining, I want to see when it's finished, or the barbarian attack, I want to see when they arrive, right? You have the speed over here, you have where, you know, the time when it is right now. We can see the key metrics here, like religions, happiness, my housing, available workers, citizens, legionnaires. So this is all pretty clean. We have my key resources. We can see if they're going up or down, and I can click on it to really see that, right? To really see if it's by how much it is going up or down. So all of this good there. And then lastly, our taxes. At the bottom, we have all of the production. There is hotkey for everything, like research is F2. We have religion is F3. We haven't really unlocked it yet, but it's fine. Job priority is tab. we have armies, we have the trade, then my 4 types of buildings, right? We have then gathering resource, and there is also hotkeys for all of these, so that's no problem. Then we have the road here, again with hotkeys. So again, I know it is a bit old school in the visual of the UI, but I think it is pretty good in terms of experience. We have then so far, not built a lot of buildings, but as you can see, there is quite a few, and hopefully with the early access period, they will add more along the way. There's including decorations, by the way, if you are a bit of a city builder, a beauty builder, but it's not just pure decoration. They do have an effect on your people. Like for example, this one you can see will bring health and comfort. Then the research tree, right? It's pretty extensive. It's not the biggest I've ever seen, but it's big enough, I feel, for us to have a good time. We will now see a fight very soon, so we can see if the fight is interesting or not. I just finished the research, right? So while this is happening, let's press F2 and do a good one. Cabbage farming takes a different types of resource, and it also has requirements. This is something I do like, particularly if you look at the city defense, you're gonna see high requirements, like having 4 wooden archer tower to be able to do a brick archer tower. I think this is pretty cool. But yeah, let's start researching this one, right? And let's also put now my archers towards the top because we want to make sure we can defend. We are actually looking good now. I have a couple of people, I have 0 people not working, but most of my people are occupied doing things. That's great. Now that we have unlocked the quarry, let's build it. So this building here will need to be placed on an actual stone deposit. I see one over here, one there, and one here. I think we're gonna use this one because it's the closest to the rest of my productions. So here it is. We need to place it, but I think we have a problem with the wood here that is in the way. Unless I put it this side, and maybe we should. But let me extend the road quickly and see where it lands. If we make a road that is straight. So I think it will land really on the rock. Yeah, that is life. So we rotate it and place it on the rock. Okay. So that will give us pretty unlimited access to stone, right? Versus all of the small stone that we were collecting before, right? With this, these ones are not unlimited. I mean, they disappear very quickly. We will also have a way to do wood in a sustainable way. But for now, I see my 2 archers. I see my legionnaires over here. I didn't put a door on it, but that's okay. And my 2 archers here, perfect. But yeah, here it is, the defense. One small thing, that I know they have said is not easy for them to fix, but honestly, this is not looking good. That the tower here sort of finishes not on the mountain. They're gonna come from here, and I guarantee you we'll be able to see them right away. There it is. They are coming. They're running to my city. I hope that I didn't miss. I don't think they can pass that place there. It's a natural defense. They do go pretty far on this side, so they may go over here, but anyway, we'll see that in a second. Now we have 6 soldiers, hopefully that will be enough. We are pretty close to finishing the cabbage research, and this thing is also pretty close to being... Okay, the enemy is at our doors, metaphorical doors, I guess. My archers are starting to attack. My troops also on position. We can, here it is, kill them. Ooh. No, don't kill me. Okay, nice. I think we're doing good. I don't think we lost anyone so far. Yep, perfect. I'm sure we lost some health. You can see 26 out of 35, 5 out of 40. So we did lose health, but we didn't die. And so this was the first attack. Now, this is, again, barbarians, I think level 1 or level 2. So that was, of course, pretty easy. Right? We didn't have really a challenge there. I can guarantee you it's going to get harder a lot quicker, especially with the beast, right? Dragons and hydras. So it is, ladies and gents, we have survived our first attack. We have built the basis of a small colony, right? We're starting to get some wood. We have an unlimited reserve now of stone. Started to also make some bricks, a bit of food, but as you can see, we're not producing enough food. So we're going to be careful there. We're going to need also to have multiple types of food. There are actually 6 types of food, as you can see just below. We haven't started to tax our people, so that's going to be something for sure in the future to make some different weapons too, right? And much more. So far, I'm having a good time. The game is not perfect, but there is some potential here. So we're going to play a couple more episodes. And of course, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below your thoughts, as well as any requests for future videos.